Hi, my name is Chi Huang, and I came to Westminster Presbyterian Church about 3 years ago after a friend suggested I visit. Westminster fits with me doctrinally, and also it's a great place for my girls in the youth group. In addition, when I read through some of what they believe as a church and what we believe as a church, Micah 6:8 really touched me. The whole idea of acting justly, loving mercy, and walking humbly really responded to what I have been trying to be and do as a Christian for the last 30 years. What really sealed the deal for me and allowed me to not only have community but a place to think and to challenge myself was Sojourners. Sojourners Room 208, we meet every Sunday. It's an eclectic group of people that are serious about their faith journey. But just as importantly, they're not so serious about themselves that they're dogmatic about their belief system. And we're able to challenge each other and question what we think and how we think. Sojourner is a group of folks that live our Christian beliefs with the challenges of contemporary society. We choose a book or a video or a speaker on occasions to teach ourselves and to learn. This fall, we're going to be reading Abundance, Joyfully Living in Christ by Marilyn Brown Owens. The author says, quote unquote, that abundant life is not about being conformed to our world, but by being transformed by God's love. This past year, we studied The Justice Project by Brian McLaren, which is a collection of brief essays from authors around the world. And it challenged us to have a deeper understanding of the pressures of the world that we face and take up the challenge to alleviate some of the suffering and some of the opportunities that are there. Leading the class is voluntary and it rotates each Sunday, and Sojourners are committed to providing a space where all our opinions are welcome and everyone can lead. I think I've spent the last 30 years as a Christian, and now I will spend the rest of my life trying to figure out how to do justice, trying to figure out how to walk humbly with God, and how to love mercy. So I really encourage you to not only join Westminster Presbyterian Church, but also join our class Sojourners if it's a good fit for you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Eric Wolf. I'm one of the facilitators for the Roundtable, which is an adult Sunday school class that meets on the second floor, the Holders building. And in brief, our class for over 30 years has been dedicated to studying books of the Bible. And the way it works is by consensus, we decide what book we're going to study. And most recently, we studied Ephesians. Actually, Ephesians was just a long line of, the books of Paul. It went on for over a year and a half. And that's probably what I need to tell you, is that we do go on for quite some time. And that's because we studied in depth and stopped to answer any question from the round table. And it's called a round table because I am a facilitator along with Jan's husband, Richard Terminella. And we facilitate the meeting. That's what we do. We talk, we stop the discussion, say, okay, let's discuss this point. And we do that. And we do it until everyone feels comfortable. We move along. The nice thing is that we always announce ahead of time the book that we're studying, and that we drop-ins are obviously more than welcome, because they know where we are, not necessarily where in the book, but they know what book we're in, and we have drop-ins. The drop-ins probably account for about 20% of our group. We do have a core group, and we had so for probably 30 years, but that changes. You know, the mix up of the group, the makeup of the group changes, but it's everyone's welcome. It's a beautiful group, very open. Right now we're studying Micah. We had that discussion about 4 weeks ago. What are we going to study next? And one of the more astute members of our group said, I think it was actually Sam, let's study Micah. This is something that speaks to justice, through all the chapters. And we feel at this time in our lives that that's very important to discuss social justice. And Micah had that at the core of his message. So that's really what we are and who we are. Adults, and the ages are from my daughters have joined or attended age 18 up to well, there's no limit, and we welcome you at any time, and we'd love to have you. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to this presentation on the Present Word adult class. My name is Pete McWilliams. I'm an elder in the church and have been a member of the Present Word class for several years now. There are anywhere from 10 to 20 of us who meet together right now on Zoom, but usually in room 105 at the church. We come from all walks of life: religion, education, finance, science, law, and the like. We sit around a table and fairly casually discuss the Bible. We try to become increasingly familiar with the content of the Bible. We try to help one another to learn of God's saving grace through the revelation of Jesus Christ. And we spend a lot of time trying to tie the messages of the Bible to our daily living. We would welcome you to join our class. It's a good group of people. We meet throughout the year, without exception, on Sunday mornings during the Sunday school or church school hour, and in the summertime just before the early church service. So please come to the Present Word class. Enjoy yourself. Fill up a cup of coffee before you come if you like, and be ready to discuss both the booklet that we use and especially the Bible itself. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Geoffrey Vaughn. I'm a member at WPC, and I'm a medical family therapist at the Duke Cancer Institute, specializing in experienced trauma with teens and young adults who've been diagnosed with cancer. I want to talk today a little bit about some classes that I'm going to be facilitating this fall. The first is starting off the Aperture series on September 16th. I'm going to be facilitating a class that we are calling In These Trying Times. And in this class, we're going to take a look at stressors that are impacting us individually and in our families, in our communities, and even globally, and how these stressors are impacting us physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. After some of that discussion, we're going to turn our attention to ways that we can better cope with these stressors, looking at specific behavioral and meditative strategies. And then starting on Sunday, September 20th, I'm going to be facilitating a 3-week class with the parents of confirmands in the same vein, talking about the current stressors that we're going through and what that might look like through the eyes of an 8th grader. And then the third class I'm going to be facilitating, which starts on October 11th, is going to be a continuation of the Aperture class that I taught, but for anyone who might be interested in WPC, and that will also be a 3-week session. So if this sounds interesting and potentially helpful, I hope you'll join us, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much.